What's up, guys? Hey, hopefully your Memorial Day weekend is going good. Mine's been going good. It is a gorgeous day out. Honestly, like 60 degrees, blue sky. You can't complain about that. Now, of course, on these 3-day weekends, guess what? If you're married, you're going to be busy. You're going to be doing the honey to-do list. So that's what I'm doing today. And I'm okay with it, honestly. It's a gorgeous day out. I'm here. I get to kind of do my own thing. I'm going to vlog this project out for you guys. I'm going to cut out 3 gigantic hydrangea bushes for my wife. She has been annoyed by these 3 hydrangea bushes. 1, 2, 3. Now, the reason why she's kind of annoyed is, first things first, we have this beautiful rock, siding here, or stone siding, which is really pretty, But look, that just covers it all up. And my wife, she doesn't like real gangly looking plants. She likes more of the manicured look. So we're going to replace those hydrangeas with these boxwood green velvet plants. I got 3 of them. These things do grow a little bit, decent size over time, but you do have to kind of trim them. We've got a few over here. I gotta trim these down. I've got one of those saws that you can, make these things look good. So we got 3 here, and these have grown. These are pretty big. They were that size when we first planted them, so they do get to be a decent size. But these hydrangeas are just growing too big. And to be honest, they start getting over here, and I have to trim the hedges, and they don't look good. And my wife hates going in here with her hand and getting all scratched up, because you got to trim this kind of dead stuff out. Now, they are pretty, to be honest, and we do have other hydrangeas over here on the corner of the garage. There's one over there we planted. We do like them, but man, it's just here in the front. It's just gotten out of hand. Now, there are a couple of, I think, little ones. I don't know. Yeah, like right here. That's like a little one. I might take one there and maybe one over here. And I might try to take them out and maybe transplant them, maybe 1 or 2 spots, maybe in the backyard or something. I've got near my hammock, if you saw my vlog with my hammock, I might plant just 2 of them or something like that, maybe add a little color contrast with the woods, But it's just a beautiful day. I'm gonna finish these up, trim the hedges when I'm done, and get this whole place looking real nice for the summer, But yeah, I'm gonna take my chainsaw to each one of them, chop it down to close as I can to the roots so I have room to work around. And then I'm going to use a shovel. I'm going to do it old school style. I'd love to have like a backhoe or, like a truck with a chain that I could hook it to and kind of pull them out. But, to be honest, I don't have that stuff. And I don't want a backhoe, ruining my lawn or anything. I could hire this out, but it's nice out, so I don't really care. I'll fast forward some parts for you guys if might get kind of boring. Let's see. It's 11:52. I'll probably have to go in for lunch, take a break, but probably hammer away at this for, I don't know, probably a half hour, 45 minutes or so. So first, let's just chop this stuff up. Why not, right? I'm gonna start from here, work my way in, but kind of sad about it. I do like these, but they are kind of a pain to trim the hedges. So it is what it is. Let's do it, So I'm gonna try to save these ones up here. So I'm just gonna go at it, man. Why not, Maybe some plant people are probably real sad on this one. But these things grow like crazy, so they are expensive at the store. I will say that. So, it'd be nice to transplant 1 or 2. We'll see. Yeah, the stuff kicks back a bunch. Now I got the chain off again, of course. You know, maybe I'll get a, I think I could probably hack some of that out with just the regular snippers, right? The chainsaw is going at it pretty quick. Still dealing with that cold, you know. Still got drainage from that. It's annoying. All right, get some good sharp snippers. What are you guys doing on your Memorial Day? What projects are you doing? Let me know in the comments below what type of house projects you're doing. I'm sure you're doing something. It is too nice to not be getting stuff done outside. Or maybe you're getting your boat out. You know, I think a lot of people do that on Memorial Day, don't they? Not sure. All right, let's just... Yeah, that works too. You see, some of those are pretty thick, so they're like trees almost. All right. Look at that. Massive, man. All right, I got the chain back on again. Tell you what, this is what takes the longest with doing projects, is always dealing with ancillary problems. You know, oh, you gotta get the chainsaw, you know, back on the thing because it's kind of a pain. You know, it can't be working as you like it, or this tool breaks. You know, that's what it is, man. It's just like a time killer. I guess that's why most people, you know, who value their time, which I do, that's why most people hire out stuff these days, because just eat your time, you know. Probably should have unplugged that, but I didn't. All right. Well, all right, that's probably pretty good. Now, the question is going to be, you know, how hard is it going to be to get this thing out? I really have no clue how strong the roots are in this type of bush. Man, look at that. Crazy. Now I want to save this one. I think maybe that's, well, yeah. Yeah, maybe I could save that one. This, yeah, this stuff, tell you what, that stuff grows. All right. Previous owners are probably like, no, we love these bushes. Sorry, guys. My wife is sick of them. Happy wife, happy life. Let's see what we can do here. Well, it's not too bad, actually. We'll see what happens when I get deeper. That's pretty cool. Get somewhere. They're all around this bad boy. That's the thing too, you know, you get older, this type of work takes a lot more energy, but it is good for your health in general. Keeps you active. You're not sitting on your couch editing YouTube videos or playing video games. I don't play games much anymore these days. I ain't got time for that. But I do like a nice looking front of my house. Curb appeal is everything. That just ain't curb appeal, honestly. Like when they flower, they're pretty, but you know, if they're not flowering, kind of look gangly. My wife was sick of them, so kind of got to go with what the wife wants. All right, guys. Hey, I gotta check some out. Dude, that did not take long, I think. I had a double stroller and a single stroller out the front of my driveway. Put some free signs on it, posted on Facebook. 1 hour, they were gone. I mean, that double stroller was like 150 bucks. It was the last thing I ever bought from Kids R Us or Babies R Us before that private equity firm killed that company. Sucked all the money out, you know. I think the back I still need to chop some off. I'm getting there. This thing's problem with the back is I don't have any leverage, but we'll get in here. There we go. Chop it from the angle here. All right. I think that's it. I don't know. I saw some YouTube. My wife was looking at YouTube videos, and it looked like it was tough, but maybe it's just the soil here is real loose. You know, it's not too bad. But I think I've got this. I just got to get a little bit farther under that. A little more leverage. Feel a little bit here. I got more crap I gotta give away for free. Just do it one day at a time. I gotta get rid of stuff. Oh, here it comes. Hey, not bad, man. All right, now I gotta get this thing out. Move this. All right, there we go. Whew. Not too bad. I think I'm gonna go get a rake so I can rake up the leaves, and I'm gonna plant that box. Well, no, I'm gonna get the other ones out before I plant the new boxwoods, because I don't want to like. Hey guys, I'm back. Pretty cool. I ran out of space on my SD card. I've never done that, which, you know, that says that I'm doing so many recordings that that's a good thing, to be honest. Now, I probably should manage my SD card a little bit better, but you know, the thing is, I'm always afraid of losing footage either on my transfer of any of those files, so I leave them on until like I get time to take them all off. But yeah, that was the first time I've ever gotten full on the SD card, so I had to go in and transfer the files over to my computer, or I actually just deleted most of it because I already had uploaded that content to YouTube. But now, so I went in, and now my wife, she wants me to keep the old big bushes and transfer them. So now I got to dig 3 more holes potentially. So over here, we have like kind of a perennial garden. There's like a couple stones. This was like a big mud pit when we first moved in. I mean, it's all shady. You got this canopy here, so not a whole lot grows out here except for these ferns. We planted all these ferns. We did all wood chips. This was mud basically when we moved in. And again, home ownership, man, it's all about working. But yesterday I planted these little 3 Japanese ferns. You know, we went to the greenhouse yesterday, got these. So I think what my wife wants to do is we want a little bit more privacy from our neighbors. So I think we'll plant one hydrangea bush right here, you know, right here, and then maybe one over here. And I planted this pine tree right here. This thing was like maybe half the size when I planted it, but man, it's getting up there. It'll take years, but, and then, oh, maybe we'll plant one over here in this empty kind of leafy looking area. I don't know, my wife keeps basically expanding her position into the forest. So we got to keep her in check. You know, she's going to keep going out there. And, you know, yesterday, not only those Japanese ferns over there, because we had some other plants there that died and just didn't survive. They needed sunlight. And then over here, again, we're trying to take over the woods. It's my kid's swing set. I just put some new cheap wood chips down there. We had 5 bushes over here where you can see these yellow grasses, and they all died. They didn't survive. I think the deer ate it. They were like, God, I don't remember what they were called, but they just didn't survive. So we planted these grasses, and then I forget, these are kind of like a lily. Supposedly, I guess deer don't eat them. We'll see what happens there. And then we planted like, this thing flowers. I forget what it's called. Maybe I'll pull up the tags or something. But so I'm gonna get back at it. But, oh yeah, and then we transferred over, what are these things called? Why am I forgetting what these are called? I don't know. You cut them in half, and I'm not a plant person. I don't remember what it's called. I'll remember in a few minutes. Sure you guys probably know what they are, but these things right here, because these things get so big. And so my wife transferred a couple of them over there, kind of just spread them out. What are those things called? Forgetting. That's all right. That's what happens when you get old, you know. And I'm just not a plant person. I'm a stock person. You guys know that, right? Obviously my shirt, you know, this is one of those, I got this from a YouTuber, Stephen Mark Ryan. He's kind of a, I don't know, he's a hype Tesla guy, kind of like I am, but even more than me. I mean, he thinks Tesla's going to like $20,000 a share. I'm not really thinking it's going that high. I mean, it'd be nice if it did, you know. I'll take that any day. Let's see if I got this right angle here. Yeah, you guys can see me doing some work, all right? So gotta get all these, look at all these leaves, man, just years and years of buildup. Yeah, I think this is gonna look pretty nice when it's all done. I think my wife is right. She's usually right. And that's the thing, guys. You gotta find a woman who is smart, ambitious. You know, I don't know, man, there's a lot of talk out there of like these traditional kind of guys that don't even want their wives to work. I don't get that, man. Like, dude, in this world, you're gonna need 2 incomes. So I don't really know what you're thinking that your wife isn't gonna work. Now, I was fortunate enough to where my wife was able to quit her job for when we had little babies. But after that, man, she was getting kind of itchy and bored, and she wasn't gonna stay. What's she gonna do? Stay home all day? You know, what? Like clean the house? Like, dude, it's not something that we needed. You know, having a second income is nice. That's just my take on it. You know, if you can stay home for a little bit, either parent, it don't matter. Dude, I wish my wife made 6 figures plus, man. I wish she made more than me, because I'd be, you know me, guys, I've talked about this before. I'd be looking to retire early. And I'll clean the house all day. I don't care. You know, not having to be in boring meetings. That's the way to go. I was just digging this out a little bit just to prep for that next bush. All right, that should be pretty decent right there. All right, now take this bush, since apparently we're gonna reuse it, get it in this wheelbarrow, get out of the way. And now, well, let's get this out of the way too, right? Oh, I was gonna say something about the SD card getting filled up. You know, if you want to be a YouTuber and be active and film outside and at different locations, I highly recommend getting a second micro SD card. If you got an Osmo 3 or even a DSLR camera, always have a second SD card that's maybe in your carrying case or whatever, because I've done this like 3 or 4 times. I've driven out to the lake and I get out there, I turn my DJI Osmo 3 on, and then there's no SD card. And I'm like, dang it. So, you know, I was able to use my phone and kind of prop it on something. You know, I didn't even have the tripod mount for my phone. So that was kind of it did work out. That video got like 300 views or something, which is pretty decent for my channel. But if I would have had that spare SD card, I could have popped it in and had the, you know, the camera I wanted to use. I'm really comfortable with this DJI Osmo 3, and that's what you want to do. You want to be comfortable with the camera that you're used to. I'm not used to using my cell phone. I mean, it took decent video, but I love the DJI Osmo 3, man. It is the best starter YouTube thing there is, camera, because you just look at this viewfinder and it's almost like you're looking right at the lens. There's not much difference. You know, most of the audience doesn't really care if you're not looking directly at the camera. I like to look directly at the lens, but I don't know, sometimes you just get used to looking at yourself in the frame, seeing your vibe. And that's what the audience wants too. They want a good vibe. At least I think. All right, so we're on to the next one. Man, this one's going to be a little bit bigger of a beast, I think. But we'll get in there, right? I'm gonna get some of this out because I can't see what I'm doing. Hey, we'll see what happens if we replant these. Maybe they'll grow. Maybe I can keep them trimmed down a little bit better. Well, it doesn't matter over there because it's in the woods. You know, it's like, I want to see this nice rocks that some workers did 20 years ago. You know, somebody put in some time and effort, you know, and hey, let's show it off, right? Let's get some curb appeal going. What kind of plants do you guys have in your front yard? You know, do you have flowering plants, or I don't know, let me know in the comments below what kind of plants you guys have. Again, what are you doing this Memorial Day weekend? Yeah, my parents, they usually go to a bunch of grave sites and all that tomorrow. You know, they go plant flowers at, I think, my mom's parents, my grandparents. My dad's parents are down in Florida, but my mom's parents are out in Ortonville, Michigan. And I've been to their grave a couple times, but not too often. Speaking of graves, my grandfather, he wasn't too bright sometimes, and he ended up planting this pine tree at their plot. And this thing ended up being like, you know, bigger than the pine trees in my yard. And like it caused some problems or something at the gravesite when they had to bury my grandma years ago. So if you plan on being buried, don't plant big trees at your plot. You know, maybe just plant a small bush or something like that, you know, with some flowers. You don't need no big tree. All right, let's finish this guy up. Not too bad, you know, getting the job done. I might have enough time to edit. Shoot, I might record a few more videos. I don't know, man. I thought this was gonna take me literally like a whole day, but hey, cross our fingers, the soil is loose around this one. Oh, look at that. Nice rodent trap. It's probably like some super old dead rodent in here. Who knows? It's like hooked to the ground. Interesting. Oh yeah, it's got a stake in it and everything. Yeah, we have mice around here, no doubt. Oh, whoa. A little dizzy. I dizzied there. Sometimes that happens, you know. You get old and you like bend over and get up real quick. You feel a little dizzy. That's the thing, guys. You're not going to stay spring chickens forever. Keep telling people that. You know, tell you what, if you guys are in your 20s, dude, like the reason why you want to save money and invest and build wealth early is because you don't know how you're going to feel in your 40s. You know, you might need to pay for services more than you think, you know, because you're not going to be as active typically. I mean, you get busy with kids, you ain't going to the gym. You'd be lucky to get some walks like I do. But that's a good thing too. If you can keep walking in your 40s, I mean, I'm not doing too bad. I think the last time I weighed at the doctor's, I was, I don't know, 178, something like that. If you can keep yourself under 2 bills, 200 pounds, you know, you're doing something right in your life. You're eating decent, you're being active, doing projects around the house. You know, you're not out spending your money on convenience street, eating fast food, greasy food, soda. Speaking of, I mean, that's the worst. That's how people gain all this weight, is with soda. You know, I rarely drink soda. If I do, it's like, you know, a little bit of a treat. You know, it's a special treat. You know, my daughter drinks it with me. She likes soda. And, you know, she's all excited when she, you know, when I buy some cream soda or something like that. But again, she understands that it's a special treat and you shouldn't drink it a ton. And she knows that because I tell her that. You know, I talk to her. I'm not on my phone all day. You know, yes, I am on my phone a lot, but, you know, when it's time to be around your kids and if they're paying attention to you, get off the phone. Oh, this one might be a little more problematic. I gotta get it. Here we go. Gotta get, you know, the loose spots and then work your way into that. And then hopefully you can pivot and rip up the tough roots. That ain't bad. Let me get this. All right. All right, here. Instead of you guys seeing my rear end, you know, move you over a little bit. Oopsie, oopsie. There, it's better. What else do I have to say? Man, I'll tell you what, it comes to like doing those videos every day, you kind of sort of lose track of, maybe you've done so many videos, what else can you talk about? I think for me, I'm gonna just start repeating videos because at the end of the day, I've only got 700 subscribers and like nobody's really seen my content. And to be honest, people don't ever go back on channels very often. They don't go back and binge watch your channel. So you might as well kind of talk about the same stuff. And to be honest, dang, that's tough there. To be honest, there's nothing wrong with repeating the message if you're trying to convey something to other people, because to be honest, even your subscribers or viewers, they may have only watched like 3 minutes or 5 minutes of your video. So, you know, if you had important concepts that you talked about later in your videos, hey, you might just want to take those concepts and start them at the beginning. You know, I don't know. That's something to think about too. There we go. I'm making some progress on this bad boy now. It's always a good feeling. Make progress. Little baby steps. All right. All right, guys. This is what, I mean, this is what life is. It's work. You know, it's work. It really is. That's what we were meant to do, though. I mean, if you look at Mother Nature, you look at the birds and the bees, right? The birds and the bees, we all know that story. They work all the time. They're always out pollinating. They're always out building their nests every year. You know, the birds do to get their babies ready. And as humans, it's the same thing, you know. Just keep working, hustling, and keep yourself, you know, healthy in a sense. Nice and skinny and just, I don't know. That's just the way I look at things. My parents have always been the same way. Oh, I was gonna say something. I already forgot. It'll come to me in a few minutes, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, this is what I was gonna say. So like, what's interesting is, you know, I had a video where I talked about being a wage slave. Do I consider myself a wage slave? No. But I've whenever I do these home improvements, whether it's, you know, finishing the basement, doing a bar, doing flooring, or whatever it is in a house, I always think, man, all these improvements I'm doing, I'm benefiting the banks. You know, whether or not, you know, I have a mortgage, so at the end of the day, the bank still owns this property. I don't own it. That's the way I think of these properties, unless I own it outright. But even after I own it outright, you know, and let's say I retire and downsize, somebody's going to come in here with a mortgage, and then the bank gets to benefit from that, and the local township gets to benefit because they collect the taxes on a higher value house. So it's like we're all working for the banks and the government. You know, the government gets their property taxes, the banks get the increased valuation and a bigger mortgage and higher interest payments from that. And so that's the way I look at it now, is the banks always win. And that's why you see huge skyscrapers in New York City and Charlotte, North Carolina, and wherever else, you know. You had some old banks in, I don't know, Cleveland and, you know, Huntington's down there. That's what it is, guys. There's a reason why, you know, you look at Las Vegas and you look at all these banks, the big buildings from just all this liquidity coming in all the time. You know, I don't know if there's any other solution to that problem, to be honest. I guess the only solution would be everyone should pay cash for their house, but that's just not a reality that we live in. People want to live beyond their means and all that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna just shut the camera off for a sec. I gotta wheelbarrow these things over. Then I'll take that one out, start on that one, and then I gotta eat lunch. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hey, let's put this bush, we'll just set it in the ground, just kind of get a feel. Hey, what's up, honey? I'll stop the camera real quick. Wife's here, she's reviewing my progress. All right, guys, I'm back. My wife had to check the progress. She was actually, she was like, well, should we move that bush over more? I'm like, no, we are not digging another hole. The hole's already dug. You fill it in, you're done, you know? So I put my foot down. I said, no. Most guys would have said, okay, honey, but no. Now, most things I do say yes to. Don't get me wrong, okay? Because I don't want to hear it, but you know, it is what it is. So let's get this second bush out. I did a little bit of cleanup too. Now, one thing I did want to mention was, you know, I released my creepy room, Lego room yesterday. I did a vlog showing you guys my creepy room. You know, if you haven't seen it, you can check out all my Legos and my network attached storage drive. Well, here we go. This thing's coming out. Not too bad. Well, there's one of these still on here. I'll just roll it. There. All right. Anyways, so I was doing gotta get this over this hump. Oh, that thing's got a root on it. All right. Trying to talk and do work at the same time. Yeah. This vlog I did was really annoying. I got like 5 or 6 comments this morning, all in a row. And like, oh, your video's doing great, but it could do a lot better if you check out our website. And then, you know, you get like 5 in a row. You can tell it's from a bot. That just pisses me off, honestly. And you know what makes me the most annoyed is if you're a YouTuber and you just kind of, you know, mention maybe on somebody else's channel, hey, you know, I got a video just like this, you know, and I'm good buds with, you know, let's say another YouTuber, and they don't even care. You can't even post, you know, a comment like that, because YouTube will just block it essentially, but they'll let those type of comments come in about, oh, come check out the website for performance, you know. Hey bud, you can play basketball. Go ahead. My son's out gonna play sports a little bit. I don't even know, man, if I can lift this thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can get it. Oh. Whew. All right, here we go. Let's move this over here. All right, that's out of the way. You're fine. So yeah, it's kind of annoying that they won't allow other YouTubers to comment. Not that I've out on other channels pushing my channel, but it's like they'll let that go through, and then they'll let these crypto, like Binance or whatever it is, they'll let that go through where it's like, oh, say these key words and blah blah blah, unlock something or something like that. That gets so annoying, honestly. It's a pet peeve of mine. I just delete those comments. It's hard to delete the other comments because it's like, are they really subscribers or not? Probably not. Or they're not. Yeah, a little bug. But yeah, that's just annoying to me. Like YouTube, you got AI, you got all these other engineers on there. Come on, man, block the scams that are out there. And here's the sad thing about these scams is that they obviously work. That the thing is there's a reason why people put these comments in, because somebody else is falling for the trap. They're gonna go to that website, and I Googled it just because I was curious. And the ad was, oh, pay for 50 subscribers. What, like a bunch of people overseas that are gonna subscribe to your channel and screw up your channel? Don't fall for that trap, guys. If you know, you see any of these silly ads or silly comments, dude, just either delete them or say thanks, but no thanks. You know, that's what you're gonna have to do. So, and it's sad, you know, it's like, it has to work. That means that there's so many sucker Americans out there that actually fall for these traps. And here's what it is. It all comes down to, hey, I want to get rich quick. I want to monetize quick. And that's what it is, right? Let's go buy our subscribers. They'll subscribe and they don't watch because they're not real people. They're just, you know, a bunch of humans working and have a bunch of Gmail accounts. And yeah, they subscribe and they never watch. And then you wonder why, you know, you got 20,000 paid for subscribers and you only got 100 views. Well, that's why. And I don't know why YouTube hasn't figured that out. You guys have been in business for 9, 10, I don't know, 20 years. I don't know how long YouTube's been in business. No, probably like 20 years. And you're still letting this go on. You know, it just baffles me. Well, come on, go hire me, man. I'll tell your coders what to do. Because this is like silly and stupid if you ask me. It's just a bad take on the YouTube system in general. Let's see how this kind of looks. Yeah, actually, I might just be able to plant that right there as is. Yeah, that's gonna look way better. All right, on to the next bush. I think I'm gonna dig this one out because it's kind of in my way. Sorry. Oh, she's coming? Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I can just edit out stuff if you need to. It's no big deal. All right, that one's out. Man, I should sell these bushes, huh? All right, here we go. Chainsaw time. Man, it's a nice day to do this too, honestly. You got to take advantage of these days where it's, you know, 60 degrees. You can get stuff done without busting up a huge sweat. Here we go. This is a big one. There we go. Right. Right. This one's gonna be worse. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not this one. Maybe just plant a small one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Are you gonna jump in? Well, think about the shower. No. Not really quick. It'll fall for a while. Just plant a small one. No. Just trim it a little bit. Yeah, there's a small one. Just plant those in. Not plant these massive ones. Hydrangeas, these are great. Yeah. All right. Guys, can you stop arguing? Yeah, maybe just plant these little ones. Trim them up. Yeah, we gotta dig both of those. So. All right, guys, I'm on the final stages of this bush. My wife interrupted me a little bit. She had to supervise, see what was going on. My kids are playing kickball in the front yard. They're having fun. So this is kind of like a 2-bush combination here. There's like a little one in the front. Which I don't know, man. This one's going to be a pain. I got to somehow chop it up. There we go. I think that might work. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Whew. There's a root in there. Probably gonna still see this stuff come up from time to time, but you know, just pull it out when it comes up. All right, here's the big dog. Let's see if this will come out easily. Oh, no way. Nope. Gotta loosen this one up a bit more. But I was saying, you know, about these scams, man. There must be a lot of people that get scammed on that stuff on YouTube, falling for these pretty much foreign comments. You know, these comments from scammers overseas, probably, you know, virtual IPing it through a US address, so YouTube is probably not seeing it as a scam. Who knows? It just annoys me. But there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you just got to deal with it. You know, I can't imagine YouTubers that have, you know, hundreds or thousands of comments a day. Like, how do they even deal with that? Maybe there's a special mode that YouTube goes into for you get big enough. Maybe they have some special software to deal with that. All right, here we go. Let's go. There's just something. There we go. It's just this rear corner I can't get access to because of the house. There we go. That might help. You can do it, Dan. Knock this thing out. Oh, there we go. I might have gotten some of it. Oh, there we go. Got it. There we go. There we go. The job is more than halfway done. That was the scary part to what this vlog was going to be. This job was getting out these bushes. Planting is kind of fun, you know. You plant the bushes, everything starts looking nice, and yeah, you accomplish your goal. And you're pretty happy with things. Moving this bush, think around here. I have to wait for the wife to come back out and make sure everything's lined right. I don't know if you guys haven't heard from my previous videos, my wife is kind of a perfectionist when it comes to things. Like I said, she wanted me to move that hole another, like half a foot over. I was like, no, sorry, honey, you gotta work with me here. I only got so much energy. 45-year-old man here. I know it sounds sad, you know, but as you get older, you don't have as much energy to go, you know, hustle it out, dig holes, do YouTube videos, maybe code some stuff. Speaking of coding, man, I'm getting this social media platform back up. I mean, it's up, it's running right now, but I want to like polish it before I kind of relaunch it, reintroduce it to people. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably do a whole video based on it, maybe do a bunch of videos on it. You guys might dig it, you know. It's really all about no AI, no advertisements, no suggested content, no shared content. Like, you can't even share like links to news articles or political stuff. You know, you could do it by like taking a screenshot and then, you know, posting a screenshot to your wall or whatever. But like, why would somebody bother to do that? It's like, if they're going to go through that effort, like, probably don't have them on your friends list, because that's just a waste of your time. You know, most of the political comments you see on Facebook, they're a waste of time. There's no reason to get into it with people on Facebook. No one's going to change their mind about their politics or whatever. That's just a joke. So yeah, this platform, it works pretty well. I just got to do some fine tuning to it. It does support video and photos and just plain text. If you want to say, hey man, I'm changing out the bushes today, good luck to me, you know. It's not as fancy as Facebook or anything. I'll never get to that level, but you know, if I can get something that's comparable that people vibe with, and they enjoy the experience again, like people used to with, you know, Facebook back 20 years ago. It was an enjoyable experience. There wasn't much politics or news. It was just people's photos and people vibing. And I'm kind of thinking of taking this approach to YouTube communities. Oh, I got to figure that out as far as how I'm going to architect it and design it. But I think I got some interesting ideas on how to maybe sell it to other YouTube channels for their channels, you know, so we'll see. And, you know, I'd like your guys' input too. If you guys do get on this platform when I finally launch it with maybe subscriptions, you know, it kind of be a way for you guys to develop the app along with me and get your own features in that you want, you know, something to think about. But yeah, I got to rake this all up. So what I'll do is I'll come right back and I'll have these all planted, show you guys the reveal, and yeah, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I got final approval from the boss lady of where these plants need to be going. So I'm gonna plant these 3 bushes. You guys can hang out, why not? But look at this stone right here, you know? That's a shame that none of that was being seen from the road and from us every time we pull in the driveway. It'd be nice now we could see more of that stonework. Yeah, I'm sure that those hydrangeas looked really nice when the original owners, you know, planted those things, but they obviously let them outgrow themselves over the years. And this house has been through 5 owners. All right, so I looked at the MLS of this house. It was built 2005, I think, and 2005 or 2006, I can't remember. And it was built for, I think, $465,000 was the original sale price. And then like somebody, I think it paid $540,000 for this house in 2008. And then the next sale price was like $460 or $420. Like that owner had lost 100 grand on that equity. You know, who knows? They probably had to move because of work. A lot of executives come in and out of this neighborhood. And so the original price, like I said, was I think around 460 grand back in 2004. And I only paid $565 in 2021 before the big ramp up in housing prices. And I got the 3% interest on the house. And it was just really a timing thing. We had outgrown our original home. And you guys, go over there. Go over there. All right. Of course, kids get in the video. I don't really want my kids in the videos. I don't know. My wife doesn't want them in. I'll have to blur them out. But where was I saying? So yeah, I bought this house for $565, more than I really wanted to pay. I think they were asking like $585. We ended up at $565. But I guess on Zillow, it's worth like $720, $780, something like that. I mean, after all the stuff we've done inside the house, we could probably get that. But I'm not planning on selling for a long time, to be honest. I have my reasons too why I probably will not sell this house. And the property taxes are really high. And that's kind of high, but I'm just gonna have to bury it for more soil. Where was I going with that? Oh, like I said, there's 5 owners, and this place just, nobody took care of it. You know, and that's why I got it for as cheap as it was. Like, you know, they just didn't do a bunch of upgrades inside. My bathroom still needs a big upgrade. But other than that, I mean, fix up the basement. The whole we redid the entire main floor. We ripped up it was 4 different floors, 2 different types of ceramic tiles, a wood foyer and the entrance, and then 4 rooms with carpet. That was just, it was gross too. Like, I just don't understand, like, people who live in these houses that are, you know, high value houses, like, why would you let your house just kind of go like that? But everyone lives different, you know. There. All right. Got one down. 2 more to go. Again, old man tools. Gotta have the knee braces. My right knee has just been giving me issues here and there. I did my doctor recently, and he was like, you know, there's not much you can do about it. We're not gonna do some MRI on it, you know, if it's not in extreme amount of pain. You know, you don't want to do some unnecessary surgery at the end of the day. So just got to deal with the pain, you know. All right. Oh, there's a little bit of dirt here. But yeah, you know, I remember this house I had seen on Realtor.com a few times over the years, and the back of it just looked kind of ugly from the photos the realtors took. And I don't know, it was maybe, I think it was this house. I think it's the one I saw, but I don't know, we just got lucky. We just happened to be patient when we were looking for a house, you know, not be in a rush. We wanted to be in this neighborhood. I mean, I almost signed on a piece of land, like another suburb over. But we walked the property and it just wasn't jiving with us. So we walked away from that. We didn't sign anything. We just didn't end up going with it. And then, yeah, this one just came up. There were 2 houses for sale on this street. This was the second one we looked at. And I was like, dude, I'm sold. Where do I sign? We went back to our house. I said to my wife, I said, hey, I'm ready, let's go. You know, this is our one chance to do this upgrade. We had the financing approved. You know, it had met all our needs. Probably more than our needs, to be honest. We have a little more we wanted a little bit smaller square foot house, but it was like, it was too good to resist, to be honest. Like, I wasn't gonna pass this up. So, not with that fort in the back there. No way. Bring you guys up a little bit. Oh, what a gorgeous day, man. I love these kind of days where it's, you know, 60 degrees. Perfect. Not a lot of wind. I don't know what my kids are doing. All right, there we go. Like to bring you guys in close, right? But yeah, this is the YouTube life, I guess, right? It's just vlog and just hang out. You know, why not? I mean, people can watch this video in their office, hang out. You know, that's what building a community is, just hanging out. And I think that's what YouTube should be at the end of the day. People just being real. So that's what I'm doing, being real with you guys. All right. Dude, this is looking way better. I'm super happy about this. I didn't really want to do it. I've been kind of, what do you call it? Like delaying this project for the last 4 years. I've been telling my wife, nah, not this year, not this year. And then finally, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's get it over with. All right, I gotta let you guys go because my grocery lady's here. She's giving us groceries. All right, be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. That was our ship lady. We have like a dedicated grocery shopper. That's the one thing that we do pay extra for, is someone to shop for our groceries. Ever since COVID or pandemic, whatever you want to call it, we obviously we used Ship back in the day, and we just kept going with it. And it's a little bit of a premium. You know, we spend probably $50 to $75 a trip. But that amount of time, honestly, is worth it. I just don't want to take that much time to go to the grocery store and all that. Now, you know, we don't spend as much money on fast food. So, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to have some luxuries in life. And, you know, we've worked hard throughout the years. We both work. So it's like, when do we have time to go spend 2 hours at the grocery store and then get them in the car, bring them out from the car, and then, hey, quit arguing. Okay. All right. Take a break. Take a break. It's over in the garage on the thing. You'll see it over by the chair. Kids are arguing about stuff as usual, fighting about something. So, anyways, all right, it's looking pretty good. But yeah, we do treat ourselves sometimes to a little bit of services. All right, I'll show you the final reveal, and then we'll end the vlog. It's a pretty long vlog. We'll see how I gotta chop this one up, edit it together. What's up, bud? All right, sounds good. All right, here's the final reveal. Da 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 da. All right, so that's looking good. You know, we can see all that stonework now. You know, those will grow probably up to, no, they won't go up to the top of that stone, but maybe halfway up. And then I think my wife is going to put in, you know, in between each bush, maybe some sort of other plant, flowering plant. I think, you know, maybe extend those out, split those up. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. I think she made the right call. And I was just being lazy year after year, delaying the project. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of trim those up, make those look good. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's pretty decent. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed the project, the vlog, let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing this Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna post it probably next Saturday. But you know, hey, maybe you guys finish some projects. So if you guys could, if you like the content, like and subscribe, and take a look at my previous video. And everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks.